video in your business. All right. So bottom line, there's not a better marketing tool. So we talk a lot about iGuide versus video. So like understand the video is a marketing tool. Let me just turn that poll off. The video is a marketing tool. The iGuide is a selling tool. So we're not going to talk about closing deals right now. We're going to talk about getting eyeballs. So there's a stat right there that, you know, should be mind blowing. 95% of what we see, we retain versus 10% of what we read. I think that's just why I don't like to read. But I mean, do you really need to know anything else? Of course you do. So I'm going to tell you some more stuff, but just let that sink in for 1 second. And then try and think about it from your own personal point of view. And you're going to say, it's right. Like for me, all day. I think audio may be up there too, but we're not talking about audio. With video, you have the ability to really take your listing to the next level. Again, we're talking about marketing. We're talking about how do I set myself apart from the other 50 or 60,000, you know, real estate agents in this context, or if I'm running whatever kind of business. You know, how do I set myself apart? Well, video is the ultimate tool to tell a story. There's really nothing out there today that's going to allow you to tell a story better. I mean, barring a face-to-face, but come on, we're not, let's be real here. We're so much less of that today. So you get to add your own creativity. You get to engage with more people. You have the ability to add additional branding. Now, again, in context to think about your old school virtual tours and your regular photography, and even our iGuide, you know, virtual tour serves a certain purpose. This is a little bit different. You get to personalize this experience. You get to, you know, the music resonates with the kind of person you are. I used an example a few weeks ago about Team Zold and how good they brand themselves as it relates to who their customers are. So, you know, once you identify who you are, it's a lot easier to identify who you sell to. But using video properly really gives one the ability to really showcase themselves in so many different ways. Like right, like I just said, whether you introduce yourself or not, but you know, just the music. If you're selling to a first-time home buyer, young, you know, 20-some, you're going to have a different approach than if we're, you know, selling to a downsizing couple in their 50s because their kids have now gone off to university or whatnot. So, you know, there's a lot that can be done if you just put a little bit of thought into it. There's really nothing that's, okay, so think about the world we live in today and what the biggest social media platform is. TikTok's exploding so much that they can't even stop it, and you know, it's owned by a foreign entity. It's video based. Vine tried to do it, didn't work. You know, here we are all these years later because people are ready for it. You know, when you can record a 4K video on your smartphone now, you don't need all this gear. You know, we'll show up to a shoot. You know, we publish a ton of newspapers and magazines, and we used to have to go with all this big gear, and you still do because it's all for show, just like we're talking about marketing. That's what it is. It's for show. But really, when you really kind of break it down, the availability today, the tools that are there and what you can use, like you could literally 10X just using this. Like you can listen to these guys talk forever. There's a lot of things before, sure, it's all about attitude, but at the end of the day, the really only tool you need anymore is just right here and, you know, your mouth. You get in front of a camera, what you can do with video is next level, especially if you're now working with professionals. The content you can create, what you can do for your personal brand, there really isn't anything out there, but the ability in which to share video, every single social media platform, barring maybe Pinterest, is built for video. Google, Facebook algorithm, they're all over. Well, Facebook is all over trying to compete with YouTube, so they want longer videos. Instagram now with IGTV. People ask me, you know, do I want a short video? Do I want a long video? You know, we kind of provide a little bit of both because, again, it really depends sort of what you're after and what the purpose of said video is. So example would be a 60-second, you know, sizzler may be great for Instagram to go somewhere, but on your website, your Facebook page, etc., you may want something a little bit longer, more of an explainer video. Again, you get to use your imagination and talk about sort of whatever. And now there's all kinds of different videos. I'm going to drop some great samples when I'm done talking and Mike comes on. I'll drop a few samples of some of these videos in the chat box. I won't show you through here. We have a pretty strong connection, but the bandwidth through Zoom, it'll just be choppy, so it won't be a great experience. But all these different kinds of videos you can do. So as it relates to the real estate space, we can do walkthrough videos. We can do walkthrough with intro videos where now you're on screen and you're talking and you're introducing yourself and the property. So again, going back to personal branding and awareness. We can throw some drone in there, like, you know, aerial is huge right now because again, it's all about the effect. And more so, you know, we talk about people not wanting to go places and trying to show more. So again, depending on the property or depending on the listing, the outside may be just as equally as important on the inside. Now, that happens a lot farther and fewer between. You know, I mean, look at the percentage of sales that are condos, unless it's on the lakeshore. You know, we're not flying drones up at, you know, Don Mills or, you know, over on the Queensway. But again, you have a nice big property or you're on the lake. Now we're throwing a drone up. Imagine the intro, you're talking, you're introducing this property, it pans out, it's your voice over the lake. It's like this really serene feeling. You understand now how you're starting to resonate with people and they're now want to stay and continue to watch. Like that's what you have to, I try to tell this to people, like being authentic is awesome. And, you know, being a better me is kind of what I preach. But at the end of the day, know who your audience is and give them what they want. Because at the end of the day, if you don't, eat the humble pie and check your ego, because they're going to go somewhere else. The number one question I got asked by agents is, you know, every client wants to make it about the money. Well, again, we have to continue to just give value. When you're in a space competing, you know, you're in a geographical region that within a 60-minute drive from the middle, let's call that North York, is 6 million people. You're, you know, lots of money out there, and you know, it's survival of the fittest. You eat what you kill. But how can we help the cause? Video is a huge one. And then lifestyle video, which is where you can get really creative. And I'm going to send you this link right here that you're looking at, is a home alone video that we did last summer for an estate home here in Kleinburg. And it's just awesome. We did another one, and Lucas can dig it up and include it in the email blast. A dog carried the walkthrough, which was really epic. And then we've also done some amazing voiceover work where, you know, agents are hiring, you know, CBC broadcasters. And again, it's just really elevating the level of the brand. And then, you know, I didn't even know this slide was there, but it becomes a lot more than just about your listings, right? It's about you. The photos, your MLS, the iGuide tour, that's about the listing. The video, if you really want to maximize, make it about you and your brand and then the listing. So if it's just a straight walkthrough video, yeah, it's just about the listing. Awesome, great, sure. Still a great marketing tool. But now, you know, you're almost missing, you're missing a huge opportunity that you could really elevate that tool and be authentic. 63% of customers choose authentic brands over those that aren't as transparent. So you're your own brand, right? We're all our own brand, especially when we're in business for ourselves. So you can put the regular video out, and then the guy across the street, the girl across the street can put her video out that's got some cool music, and they come on and they have this great intro and this vibe. And, you know, maybe they're walking the dog as they're telling you. And then all of a sudden it's like, you know what? That's a little plain for me. I really like how she's got that dog in that video. I'm going to call her. So, I mean, it's really that simple. And here's the thing. We all buy stuff ourselves every day. Some of our buying experience is quick. Some of it is like a home purchase where it takes a lot of time and education. But at the end of the day, why should the customer interact with you any different than you interact with your vendor, for example? I kind of say that sort of when I train my salespeople. I'm like, you know, put yourself, think about, you know, they get grinded. You know, everybody's grinding. We're salespeople. We want to get the best value for our clients. But I'm saying, you know, put yourself in those shoes. Or when you go buy a car, you know, you're not a pushover. So again, being authentic is very important. Video allows you to really, really stand apart. And then, you know, if you follow me, you see, you know, this there, again, Lucas, great pick, 2,293 views. I post these videos, some weeks 800 people see them, some weeks 5,000 people see them, because, you know, I drop the right F-bomb at the right moment in time, or the topic really resonates with people because I'm authentic. I literally just pick up my phone and I start talking about whatever's on my mind. It has been the most unbelievable direct correlation with the absolute explosive growth of our companies over the past few years. About 3 years ago, somebody said to me, oh, you can't do video every day, or you won't do every day. I'm the last person that gives a shit about what people think about me. So it was easy. And now it's to the point where if I miss something, it's like, are you okay? So, I mean, you could use video to really boost your brand, introduce yourself, introduce your business, show your expertise, educate your audience, share your culture. Like that's so, you know how many people I'll get phone calls, tell me my team's amazing, your culture's amazing. They want to do business with us just because, you know, of that experience of what they see. You know, people are always way more inclined to, you know, associate themselves with people that, you know, make them feel good. So I guess I'm fortunate that I talk a ton, and by osmosis, I have the ability to make people feel good. But I'm telling you, everything you see right there, I'm not making it up. That's why I think Lucas put my face there. I have this thing. We all know about the shoemaker. You know, the shoemaker's got the worst shoes. Absolutely never will I have the worst shoes. Practice what you preach or don't bother. That's bottom line for me, my clients. You know, how can I, you know, we have some pretty awesome clients. How can I represent you if I'm not representing myself in the same manner? So I'm sitting here telling you, I do this, my staff does this, our companies do this, and we've experienced tremendous growth and brand awareness and brand value growth because of nothing else. That's not true. We have amazing people. There's nothing else out there. And I'm a hardcore sales guy, headset, cold call list, knock on doors. In my 18, 19 years of professional selling, there is no lead gen / closing tool / just basic brand PR tool ever have I seen like the power of even just basic video with social media. So, and I'll debate that with anybody. We can go on forever. At the end of the day, the customer is going to relate to you, the traits that she possesses with the personality and the brand that they want to deal with. So an emotional connection is generally created amongst the brand and the consumers. You are your brand. So there's probably a few people out there that don't want to do business with me because I might drop an F-bomb on a webinar. But I probably don't want to do business with them either, because if they can't accept me for who I am and really just concentrate on how epic our team is and the work that we put out, well, then it's not a fair relationship anyway. So, you know, business is like a relationship. You know, it is got to be treated the same way. So you have to respect yourself the same way you expect your clients to respect yourself. So bottom line, here's some quick benefits in closing. I probably covered off most of them. I'm very passionate about video because I know it works. But 54% of people want to see more video content from marketers. That HubSpot stats probably beginning of the year. I think that stats just exploded through COVID. And again, you read everything I just said there. The best way to show your personality, it's so easy to get it out there. I mean, within 4 minutes, I can create a video and have it on 6 platforms, and boom, all of a sudden people are seeing it. Instant. It allows clients to very easily see the property. It allows them to very easily see you. So again, there's nothing better than generating buzz and creating engagement and transparent customer experience than doing video. And that is the absolute key to growing a brand. That's it, is transparency and authenticity and the right message in front of the right people. When you get there, you're gold. So with that said, I'm gonna stop because I could literally go forever. Again, like I said, I'm very passionate about video. So, you know, we'll do everything from very basic, you know, quick, dirty walkthroughs to, you know, full-on storytelling. We have some clients that, you know, right now we're doing a huge video series, a 9-part series of a development that's, you know, we're going to capture a whole bunch of different cool stuff and lifestyle and what it's like to be there. We've done with agents, office openings and their whole story and sort of everything in between. Now, bringing it back to the purpose of using specifically for listings, this is where it really gets easy, is through our partners at iGuide. We have the ability to take your video and just marry it with your tour all the way through MLS and everything in between. So I'm going to stop. I'm going to let the man take over now and show you guys all this. And Mike, you got great time. I'll bump in if I need to, but take your time and show us.
And I'm going to start off with a quick recap of what the iGuide is.
Yeah, start up, right, exactly. Because we still have some people that ask, and there's some people online that might not see it. So with the iGuide, which is again sort of the foundational, yeah, give an idea of that and then away to go. And I'll mute myself so I don't interrupt you, and I'll see you back in about 15 minutes.
No problem. And you know what? And John, jump in if there's anything you want to add or.
You know I will.
Yeah, for sure. And you, before I get it, I guess into the talk about video and tying it in and how important it's to your brand. I mean, I get it. Your goal is to build your brand, and video is a fantastic way to do that. And you also want to get engagement. It's also a great tool for that when it comes down to the listing. One thing that the iGuide is providing, and what you see on screen here, hopefully you can see this. If you can't, just someone let me know. But basically the iGuide is in an iframe, which is embeddable on your website. It will be put into realtor.ca. And it's a way to deliver all your content. So John and his team are creating content for you that includes the photos, the 3D tour, all the room measurements, the floor plans, and also that video. And how do you deliver all that content in a nice, neat package where it's easily ingestible by the home buyer, someone searching for the home, but at the same time, lets you show your brand and what you bring to the table when you help market someone's home. And that's, ideally what we're trying to help do, and making it a tool where you can quickly share it on social media, where you have that engaging content up on realtor.ca or on other search portals, where it includes your branding and your contact information. And as a way to engage and get feedback from your clients and from potential home buyers and consumers that are out there. And that's really the big tool there, where we're trying to help make that engagement easier so that you get great analytics. So now you can go back to your clients and show the value that you're bringing to the table. So quickly, what an iGuide is it, the essence of it is a 3D tour, a walkthrough of that home that includes floor plans. What we know from the National Association of Realtors, they do a home buyer study every year. And one of the top 3 things that they've come back with is they want to see photos of the property, because that's that emotional tie to the property. It grabs people's attention and pulls them in. They want to see detailed information about the property. So that's not only the price and the number of rooms, but the area calculations, the room sizes, what's the total square footage? Is that going to work for me and my family? And number 3 consistently that comes up are the floor plans themselves. How that home fits and flows for me and my family. Is the kitchen in the right place? How does it, where do the windows lie? Is there enough storage in that home? What's nice about the iGuide is that it ties the floor plans together with the 3D tour, and you don't get lost in the space. You can see exactly where you are by this tracking cone motion, and you can hop directly to those spaces that you want to see first. Like if it is the kitchen, whatever criteria you as a buyer is key for your next home. And that's usually driven by the pain points of your current home or your last place. What is it that you want? If you want a big open kitchen, this is perfect. Now you can go and explore and dive deeper into that home. And what we allow you to do is you can go through that home. You can measure to see if your furniture is going to fit. You can really dive in, really get a good understanding of that property, even things like going outside to check out what the backyard looks like or whatever. You can also, hit the photos and really dive deeper and get a better understanding of the property. And then this also includes things like video as well. So property descriptions, the price and descriptions, but all those room dimensions, area calculations, and the download of the floor plans, and a map of the area, how far you're from work or where the area that the home is located. So it is a tool overall to grab engagement and have it all embedded in one spot. So you can embed it like this on your website. So if you're driving traffic back to your website, you want to keep them there, keep them engaged. If you have them on your listing on realtor.ca, you want to keep them there, keep them engaged, keep them there longer. And better marketing on things like the search portals and on realtor.ca, I think it's 18% buyers will more likely to reach out to that agent in those circumstances and cases. How John and his team send it back to you is this iGuide report. You get the branded links for social media, unbranded links for the MLS. Sorry, I didn't mean to click on that. And then PDFs, downloads of the floor plans, the high-res photos, everything that you need to get your listing uploaded, all the room measurements, area calculations of the home. So that's what you get, a nice neat package to get that listing up and marketed. Is you get that back the next day. And then every Monday you can have them, or you can get them sent out to you, iGuide Analytics, which are really going to show you how much engagement you got with that property, what marketing activities worked for you, how did people get to that home, how much time did they spend on it, and how many people were returning. And that's really key, is like how many people that you're saying, you know, we didn't have a lot of people, we can't have an open house right now, or we don't want to do an open house, but we had a lot of people virtually come through that home, and we did a virtual showings of it and really had some great engagement. So that was kind of a quick synopsis of iGuide. But really, to tie it back to video, this is where it's neat in terms of engagement. And you know, what does video do for you? It shows personality. It shows your personality, how that comes out, and you know, the brand that you're building. It helps you to build trust as well. Again, this is a marketing tool, as John pointed out, and the iGuide, where that they marry each other, is one is more utilitarian. It helps you really understand from a consumer's perspective if that home is right for you, and if it's a home that you want to go, you know, dive deeper into. The video ties it back to now really engaging people longer on site, keeping them on that listing even longer, on top of what the iGuide is doing as well, but also building that trust and bringing out your personality as a brand and really as a marketer for these properties. And the big thing, engaging consumers. So engaging them and that emotional tie back to that property. They like it. They figure out, yeah, the home is right for us. It meets our criteria. It meets our criteria as home buyers and what we need for, you know, for our family. But now that watching those videos and really tying in the neighborhood and seeing the drone shots that really pull it in, really pull you in and grab that emotional tie. It is a very emotional process buying a home. Even though you try to keep yourself removed in order to better negotiate and not have disappointments, it is such a personal thing. And, you know, all of you know and understand that, and, you know, dealing with all your clients on a daily basis. So quickly, how are some different ways that you can engage with people using video and tying it into your marketing packages? So right here, I have a listing that was put up on realtor.ca. The agent put the URL for the unbranded iGuide right here in, right on the listing page. And the other thing that pulls in automatically is this floor plan button, so they can look at the floor plans. But what this does is now you've got all this rich content where people are more likely, again, to reach out to you, but spend more time on that property, really understanding the property. And really what's nice is you don't have to pick and choose as an agent. Do I put my video, my YouTube link on that listing, or do I put my 3D tour on that listing? What is it that I want to embed in that website? And with a lot of other providers, you've got to pick and choose to get that nice embed in there, either the video or the 3D tour. With us, you get it both integrated, tied in together. So now you have your full suite of your marketing package right there on the website. What's nice is that you can do two different types of videos, one that's branded and one that's unbranded. So when you put the unbranded link in the MLS, it's going to grab your unbranded video. And then that way, just turn off the sound here. That way, it's not you know, breaking any of the MLS rules, and that you've got great information that you're sharing and engaging people on this listing even longer. So I won't play through the whole video because I know, again, probably some of the lag. But a couple of things that I want to show is that, you know, what are different ways. So when you do have the iGuide, you can actually play the iGuide. So when you reload it, and I start up that iGuide, you can make it so it starts with a video. So instead of starting with a 3D tour, you could start with a video. And this is the branded one that had the branding there at the beginning of the agent. But now it ties in, it's the same type of video. It starts playing with the video. And typically we suggest this for shorter videos. But once it's done playing, and I'm just gonna pop ahead here, as soon as that video is done playing, what's gonna happen, it's gonna stop and it's gonna go right into the 3D tour. So it's just another way to engage a consumer. So you could start with the 3D tour and have the video in there. But if you have a shorter video, maybe with beautiful drone shots or a video of the home, grabbing the attention of the buyer, once it stops playing, boom, pops into the 3D tour, and now they can go and explore and really understand that space even better. What's nice, you can do that again as well. And what we showed here is the unbranded one that does the same thing, and I won't go through that. But other things that you can do that really tie into, again, really trying to build trust and show your personality as a real estate professional and what you bring to the table, and what you're like to deal with, and a little bit more building trust is the big thing. Is you can tie that right into where you have an introduction here, and here's Nersh walking through. He does these great videos, really calling out himself and his brand and what he brings to the table. Very dynamic, full of energy, and he plays these videos where, and we're not going to have the sound in here, but he really calls out, hey, got a new listing. This is a property that, want you to come see, draw you into the property, take a look at it. And again, once that video stops playing, pops right into the 3D tour, and you know what? Take a tour for yourself. And this would be part of the branded package as opposed to the unbranded. And again, you can differentiate those two. John and his team are the content creators. They can set that up for you. So now you're not breaking any rules, and you really get multiple different ways to reach out to clients. The good thing, and my last point here, is going back to the analytics. I always come back to the analytics. I know I harp on this, but that's really the tool for you as an agent to show value to your clients, or even use in a listing presentation to say, hey, this is what I did for that last listing. With all the branded and unbranded, they all drive back to the same iGuide. You get the same analytics. And so you just keep driving more content, more views on that property, really marketing that property the best you can to really get as many eyeballs on that property as possible. So that's kind of high level. Really, I don't want to beat it up anymore, but I think that ties it all in.
Just if you could turn off, I'm not the host. Can you kill your screen share?
Yeah, I'm just clicking on it.
Lucas takes the host control when I'm starting. I have OCD. I was trying to cancel you. You're awesome. And right on, like literally to the minute. I appreciate that. So thank you. Like basically we talked about how much video is amazing. And then what you just basically showed us is how easy it is for us to showcase it. So again, that's kind of what we do, right? With this is all about convenience and service and bringing it together and saving you time and giving your clients a better product. So I tried to stick with time. I got about 4 or 5 minutes left. I have a few questions that came in. I think I answered them, but I'm going to just mention them again. And just to sort of reiterate what Mike said there, that with that package and sort of you touched on the analytics, which is very, very, very important. So we give you a report every Monday that shows you where all the traffic to your listing comes from if you're using our delivery tool. Is creating one introduction video about myself enough and my business? So it depends on the individual. I would say that at the very least, you need to have some sort of introduction, some sort of storytelling mechanism for people to find you. So if you have a website, your social media, like a YouTube channel, you at the very least need to have one. I don't really think you need multiple introductions about yourself. I think once we know who you are, we know who you are. So I think the idea would be to take the initial video and potentially turn it into a series of videos. So we've helped some agents launch their YouTube channels and create all kinds of content. So
that you're on point there, John, and that ties back to building trust and seeing your personality. Kind of like, it's exactly what you do with all the stuff that you're doing and engaging with it. You're building trust, and your personality comes out. It just being real, right?
On your tool, you showed how you can go with the video right to the tour. So I'm saying to agents, I'm like, if you have this video and you have this 30 or 60-second intro for like nominal, call it whatever, 25 bucks, it's nothing. We could literally host your video intro on your tours. So whether it doesn't even have to be a walkthrough video, it can just be any video. Our video is important when it comes, our view is important when it comes to video. So this is this great thing about views and impressions and eyeballs. Like we have to take it with a grain of salt. So I have 3,000 followers, and I have a friend that has 100,000 followers, and I have a friend that has 50,000 followers. It really depends who our audience is, right? So if I'm talking to real estate agents, and there's 30,000 active real estate agents in the GTA, and I've got 3,000 followers that are 85% real estate agents, I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, Yeah, that's about 2,500 out of 30,000. Is about, give or take, call it 10%. Thanks. That's great. Like, I don't need 50,000 followers or 100,000 followers because I'm targeting a very specific niche. Now, if I'm selling houses across the province, then I want to have a huge audience, and I'm, you know, increasing eyeballs, increasing connections. So it's a loaded question. Do views matter? At the end of the day, one person, it buys the house. So if 1 million people view it, that's great for branding. But again, it depends on the purpose. So if we're talking context of selling a property, I believe the right person needs to see it. And if we're talking about overall branding, absolutely views. It's just impressions, it's eyeballs. So we spend a ton of money on Google and everything else every month, and my guys are like, oh, more leads. And I'm like, we do our own closing. These entities, social media, are so cheap right now. 17 years ago, I was selling Toronto Star pages on Saturdays for $40,000, telling people you had 2 million impressions. I can get you 2 million impressions online for like $5,000 now. So it's like, it really depends on the context. Do views matter? Selling, no. The right view matters. Marketing, absolutely. But again, your organic views, your organic views. If you want more than you have, pay up or take your time and slowly, organically build what you have. I didn't always have 3,000 followers. Do I have to be in the videos? Well, we're talking about personal branding and the power of branding. So you don't have to be in the videos. You don't have to do anything you don't want to do. But if you want to set yourself apart from the other agents and from the competition and whatever your business is, I would be in the video. You're front and center. Like, you're the person they're dealing with. I would be in the video. And the last thing is, why should you share your expertise and education through video? Well, case in point, people retain 95% of what they see in video versus what they read. And there's a stat, and again, I'm trying to find the updated stat. Pre-COVID, we were at something like 61% of content online is now all video. Look at TikTok. It's the biggest thing in the planet. 24/7 video. Instagram is now how much video? Tons. Facebook is now competing with YouTube. So why? At the end of the day, it's just because of what people are reading. So I don't have my goggles here. In 5 years, 10 years from now, when VR is crazy, start talking about, should I have a hologram of myself in some VR world? You know, we're going to just put you in the tour now and you're going to walk through. It's coming, Mike, it's coming. Everybody, people thought I was crazy 5 years ago when I said, I'm going to sit you in a boardroom and walk you through houses and you're going to buy a house. All of a sudden, I'm not so crazy, am I? Okay, it's Friday. I'm going to tell everybody to have a great week. I'm going to remind you to like the channel, subscribe to the channel. There's a little bell right around here somewhere. Click it and turn it on. I'm going to go post a Friday video on my Instagram, so follow me if you don't, and you can laugh. And Mike, thank you so much. I know video is a small piece, but thanks for making the time to show our audience a little bit more again about the power of iGuide and, you know, bringing it all together. Mad love, brother.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Shout out to Lucas, as always, in our office for making sure everything works.
Yeah.
And we'll see you all in 2 weeks.
Thank you for having me.
Have a great weekend, everybody.